You can contact them at the Shippers House in Accra. You can also join us live on YouTube on Omanfm and on Facebook on 2TVGH. Tune in to Omanfm in Kumasi for more maritime and port news. My name is Nanesi Boateng. In our stories, Vice President Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia has cut sword for the construction of a $200 million Debre Port project and a 1,000-acre industrial park worth $250 million by LMI Holdings at Debre in the central Gonja district of the Savannah region. The project is expected to facilitate the transportation of containers and other cargo from Tema Port to the north of Ghana and other neighboring countries. While speaking at the sword cutting ceremony, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia underscored the importance of the project, especially for the movement of goods, cross-border trade, and preservation of Ghana's roads. The Vice President said using Volta Lake, vessels will transport goods and container in transit to and from the Tema Port, and these containers will be moved by rails to Akwemu Kranche, then loaded onto barges to the Debre Inland Port. Dr. Bawumia said $200 million inland marine port and the $250 million industrial park will address a myriad of issues that continue to plague the movement of goods in Ghana and to our neighbors in the sub-region. He stated that most of the over 30,000 trucks annually moving goods to landlocked countries of the northern boundary of Ghana will be taken off the roads, and the total monetized benefit for the intervention encompasses a reduction in generalized costs comprising vehicle operating costs, travel time, carbon emission, reduction in transportation costs, and reduction in post-harvest losses.
Easing the congestion of clearing goods from Tema will be one of the main objectives for this project, an industrial park. Using the Volta Lake, vessels will transport goods and containers in transit from the Tema Port. These containers will be moved by rail to trucks to Akwemu Kranche and then loaded onto barges to the Debre Inland Port. In Debre, operating at full capacity like Tema with all the attendant facilities, containers will be offloaded and put on trucks to continue their journey further into the sub-region. All services such as customs, transit clearances will be provided as pertains to any international port. This $200 million Transvolta logistic corridor that we are about to cut the sword for, the inland marine port, would cost $200 million, and a $250 million industrial park at Yape. And these two projects will address a myriad of issues that continue to plague the movement of goods in Ghana and to our neighbors in the sub-region.
Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, the chief executive of LMI, Mr. Kojo Iduahene, said the Debre Port project includes the development of a logistics park at Debre to capture a greater share of transit trade volumes in the sub-region, to be known as the Debre Logistics Terminal. In other stories, the Importers and Exporters Association of Ghana, IEAG, says the integrated custom management system has brought a lot of improvement in the clearance chain 2 years after the implementation of the first phase. Jacob Ajiman, the technical advisor to the IEAG, at a press conference said that compared to the various system, ICUMS had made it easy to navigate on one platform instead of the numerous ones used for clearance in the past. Mr. Ajiman said at the forum that ICUMS had been able to synchronize all the previous platform and by so doing greatly improved trade. He said that with ICUMS, importers and exporters could get the notification at the point of a declaration, which ministries, departments and agencies where a permit must be obtained for the consignment. The technical advisor of IEAG said that ICUMS also has some challenges, however, that needed to be worked on, noting that most of these challenges and weaknesses were human-induced. He said customer service issues bedeviled with implementation, explaining that while under the previous system, problems of stakeholders were effectively and efficiently handled, ICUMS, on the other hand, is lacking these ones. The IEAG therefore recommended that technical officers should be attached to the customer service section. If you just joined us, you're listening to Maritime and Port News. A Liberian flag tanker has been banned from Australian port for 6 months for underpaying crew wages and insufficient food and water. The Australian Maritime Safety Authority, AMSA, announced the ban Monday against AG Neptune, a 105,405 deadweight crude oil tanker, after the ship was inspected at the port of Gladstone in June in response to a complaint regarding the underpayment of seafarers and welfare issues. During the inspection, AMSA inspectors found evidence that the employment agreement with 21 seafarers on board the ship had not been met, and the crew members were collectively owed approximately $123,000. Inspectors also uncovered evidence the food and drinking water were not of appropriate quality, quantity, and nutritional value. It also understood a seafarer was not provided with adequate medical care after being injured on board. AMSA detained the ship for multiple breaches of the Maritime Labour Convention, MLC, and the operators has been directed to pay the outstanding wages and address the deficiencies. AMSA's Executive Director of Operations, Michael Drake, said the seafarers were repeatedly not paid at regular intervals, and 2 crew members had expired seafarers' employment agreement. According to Drake, Australia has zero tolerance for the underpayment of crew. This type of behavior is unethical and in contravention to MLC. He said the international conventions that protect seafarers' rights are very clear. He further noted that ships visiting Australian port are on notice that if found deliberately underpaying of crew, they can expect penalties. AMSA takes the MLC seriously and actively ensures seafarers' health and well-being is upheld on all ships in Australia. And finally, long-term rates for shipping containers to New Zealand and Australia have soared in the past few years and are now at record highs. This is despite the fact that import volumes have decreased. Zenith's latest data shows that long-term rates for ocean freight into Australia have soared by over 400% since 2019. This is a huge increase in the cost of long-term ocean freight into Australia, with all main routes now more than double last year's prices. The company said the largest percentage increase comes in long-term contracts from Southeast Asia, which are up by more than 420% from July 2019, rising by $6,300 per FEU container. It is also the trade that has seen the largest year-on-year increase, as in July 2021, the average rate was just $2,900 per FEU US. On this note, we wrap up this morning's edition of Maritime and Port News, proudly sponsored by the Ghana Shippers Authority. They provide you with the best in oil shipping solutions. Contact them at the Shippers House in Accra. My name is Nanisi Boateng, producer Kwekwa Boje. Have a great day.
Yenso kwan so dwumadi hia mo man bia nkanko. E de Ghana eko wiase na de wiase so ba Ghana. Ghana Shippers Authority ani so ade hunu ne se ye bebo nsuo so adwadifo. E wo haw bia wonam mu. Efri no ma ayra. Dia seye sika yaji wa emfa kwan so. Ene haw ahodo pii. Yenya adaje kire nsuo so adwadifo. Eno ma eko se de be ya wo beti ase. Ye ni so ade hunu ne se ye besom ni asom sompa. Ghana Shippers Authority e wo Ghana Shippers House, Ridge, Accra, Gapoha Towers, Tema, NCA Building, 4th Gardens, Echupe, Okumas, Takrady Shippers Center, Takrady, Yamusa Building, Sansuna Gumbihini, Tamale, Yawo Complaints Unit, Ewo Elibu, Paga, Aflau Boda, Sansuna Kutukarium Shenjinabia, and a Takotel, Takrady, Fred, 0302-666915, and I toll free number 0800-300-555.
Ghana Shippers Authority, providing shipping solutions.
3CP. If you be here 3CP bambo.
Spanish garlic mixture and then the capsules. A boy moja dear for send when the pedianum ye.